Hello everyone, welcome to the next day's lecture. Today first I will be discussing about the homework which I had given you yesterday. So this is the answer for the homework which I had given you yesterday. Hope you have understood the topic of electronic configuration of elements. What is electronic configuration? It is the arrangement of electrons in orbits. How many orbits in the first shell, how many orbits in the second shell, and so on. So these are the first 20 elements. You may copy it down. Okay, so you may see the first element is hydrogen. Electronic configuration is 1. Second element helium. Electronic configuration is 2. What is the atomic number? 2. So electronic configuration 2. Third, lithium, it is 2 1. Beryllium 2 2. Boron 2 3. Carbon 2 4. Nitrogen 2 5. Oxygen 2 6. Fluorine 2 7. Neon 2 8. So 2 plus 8 will give you 10. The atomic number of neon is 10. Okay, so hope you have understood. Next one is sodium. This we had discussed yesterday also. Sodium, atomic number 11. Its electronic configuration is 281. 12. Magnesium 282. 13. Aluminium 283. 14. Silicon 284. 15. Phosphorus 285. 16. Sulfur 286. 17. Chlorine 287. 18. Argon 288. For potassium it is 2881, and for calcium it is 2882. There is a rule for the elements after 18. The rule will be, you will be having it in your higher classes. Now it is not there in your syllabus. So you may just learn the electronic configuration of potassium and calcium separately. So hope you have understood the electronic configuration. You may copy it down, and we will revise atomic number. What is atomic number? Atomic number is the number of protons or number of electrons. And what is atomic mass number? Atomic mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So A is equal to P plus N. So today we are going to start with the chapter exactly. So the first part of the chapter is history of classification of elements. Now hope you know the term elements by now. You have learned this in your earlier classes. The different types of matter, elements, compounds and mixtures. You have studied about elements, what are compounds, what are mixtures. What is an element? Element is the purest form of a substance. Any substance is made up of one or more type of elements basically. Okay. Now these elements were discovered one after the other by different scientists. By the year of 1800 or so, there were about 30 elements which were known. That means scientists started discovering different elements. The physical and chemical properties of each and every element were studied. Okay, the physical and chemical properties of each and every elements were studied. So as time went by, as the number of electrons increased, it became difficult for the scientists to study all these elements. So they started grouping the elements. This grouping led to classification of elements. There are several theories on classification of elements, but the most accepted Okay, the one which we are having in our syllabus is Dobereiner's law of triads and Newland's law of octaves. Today we will be covering these two topics, Dobereiner's law of triads and Newland's law of octaves. So we will start with the topic Dobereiner's law of triads. Now these are the points which have to be covered under Dobereiner's law of triads. This is a 2-mark question which is frequently asked. Now what is atomic mass? Atomic mass is the total number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. As the elements were discovered, Dobereiner studied about the atomic mass of all these elements. And what did he do? He arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic masses. Okay, I repeat, he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic masses. And he was able to derive some triads. Now what do you mean by triads? Triads means a set of 3. At the time of Dobereiner, about 30 elements were known. Out of those 30 elements, he arranged them into triads by arranging them in the increasing order of atomic masses. The law of Dobereiner's triads is that the atomic mass of the middle element is equal to arithmetic mean of atomic masses of the other 2 elements. This he found out from the triads. So how his triads were made? His triads were made according to this law. What is the law? The atomic mass of the middle element is equal to arithmetic mean of atomic masses of the other 2 elements. So you may see this is one example. Lithium, sodium, potassium. This is a triad. Lithium, sodium, potassium. Lithium is having an atomic mass of 6.9. Sodium is having an atomic mass of 23. Potassium is having an atomic mass of 39.1. Now he studied that if this is A, this is B and this is C, then these 3 followed a rule, that is A plus C upon 2 is equal to B. Okay, you cannot change this sequence because they are in the increasing order of atomic masses. That means you cannot write K here and write Na here. It is a triad and it has to be in the increasing order of atomic masses. Then A plus C upon 2 is equal to B. Okay, now here the atomic mass of lithium is 6.9. Atomic mass of potassium is 39.1 upon 2. 6.9 plus 39.1 is equal to 46 upon 2, which will give the value 23. Okay, have you understood? This is Dobereiner's law of triads. Now in the textbook, how you have to write? You may see, I will show you how it is. Dobereiner's law, Dobereiner's triads. Okay, the complete paragraph, it is very important. In that paragraph, they have exactly given how he arranged the elements. That means in the increasing order of atomic mass. What are triads? What is the law? And examples. In the textbook, they have given 3 examples. Okay, 3 triads were made, so 3 examples are there. So I will show you the next 2 examples. So these are the next 2 examples of Dobereiner's law of triads. Calcium, strontium, barium. Calcium, strontium, barium. The atomic mass of calcium is 40.1. The atomic mass of strontium is 87.6. This is the present atomic mass. Atomic mass of barium is 137.3. Now according to Dobereiner's law of triads, if this is A, this is B, this is C, A plus C upon 2 is equal to, that is 40.1 plus 137.3 upon 2. You will get the value of 88.7, which is approximately nearby 87.6. So the difference of 1 or point wise difference is acceptable, okay, if it is a Dobereiner's triad. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine, it is 35.5, bromine, it is 79.9, and iodine, it is 126.9. So if this is A, this is B, this is C, A plus C upon 2 is equal to 35.5 plus 126.9 upon 2, that is equal to 162.4 upon 2, which you are getting it as 81.2. This is the calculation which I have done. Okay, I have calculated it and shown. So this is Dobereiner's law of triads. So what is Dobereiner's law of triads exactly? The elements, first of all, the elements were arranged in the increasing order of atomic masses. He suggested that elements could be classified into a group of 3. These group of 3 were called as triads or Dobereiner's triads. Okay, he was able to make only 3 triads out of the 30 elements which were known at his time. Now, the Dobereiner's law of triads states that the atomic mass of the middle element is an arithmetic mean of the atomic mass of the other 2 elements. Okay, hope you have understood Dobereiner's law of triads. This is a very important question, 2-mark question, which is very frequently asked. Now this law had a demerit. Now what was the demerit? The demerit was that all the elements which were known at his time, that means about 30 elements were known, he was not able to make triads of all those 30 elements which were known at his time. Okay, hope you have understood. So this is the next topic, Newland's law of octaves. Octa means 8. Now what did he do? He also arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic mass. What is atomic mass? Atomic mass is the total number of protons and neutrons. Now atomic mass increasing order. He arranged the elements which were known at that time. How many elements? About 56 elements were known by his time. By that time 56 elements were known. So those elements he arranged them in the increasing order of atomic masses. He found that every eighth element had properties similar to that of the first. That means hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. These are arranged in the increasing order of atomic mass. The element after this was fluorine, which is having the next atomic mass, but it showed the properties similar to that of hydrogen. So he grouped them. All those having similar properties are arranged in groups, and they were grouped together. So this was Newland's law. So what was Newland's law? When the elements are arranged in the increasing order of atomic mass, every 8th element had properties similar to that of the first. Okay, he compared this to the octaves in music. Okay, in music, in English we are having this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It is as such. In India, in Indian music, it is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. Okay, the first is sa, the last one is also sa. Similarly, the first and the 8th is having similar properties. This was his law. This law again had some merits and demerits. Merits means what were the good things about the law. The good thing was that he was able to arrange them into groups. All the elements which were having similar properties were arranged in the same group. Now what were the demerits? We will see it. Okay, so these were the demerits of Newland's law of octaves. What was the first demerit? This law was applicable only till calcium. So whenever he arranged the elements in the increasing order of atomic masses, the law, what was the law? The law was that the eighth element had properties similar to that of the first. That property, that characteristic was applicable only till calcium. Where is calcium in the table, in his periodic table? You may see it is here. Okay, it is here in the periodic table given by Newlands. Now the second one, he placed two elements in the same box to accommodate all the elements known. Okay, so all of them were not fitting in the table. So what did he do? He arranged two elements in one box which didn't match the properties, or they were not matching exactly. Okay, the third demerit was that he placed elements with different properties under the same note. So he told that in the same group all of them had the same properties, but as the elements were arranged after calcium, it was seen that the properties were not the same. For example, cobalt and nickel are placed with halogens. You may see in the table, this is cobalt and nickel. It is placed with fluorine, chlorine, etc. Understood? They were halogens, but cobalt and nickel didn't have the properties that of halogens. They were placed in the same table. And similar to that, Fe is iron. Fe is a metal. Metal was placed along with oxygen and sulfur, which are non-metals. So earlier the elements were classified into metals, non-metals, metalloids. You are familiar with the term metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now oxygen is a non-metal, sulfur is a non-metal, iron is considered to be a metal, isn't it? So the elements, this was the demerit. Element iron, it was arranged with oxygen and sulfur where the properties didn't match. So what was the third demerit? He placed elements with different properties under the same note. The fourth the fourth demerit was that properties of new elements discovered later did not fit in Newland's law of octaves. So at the time of Newlands, about 56 elements were discovered. After that, whenever the new elements were discovered, it was not able to arrange, it was not possible to arrange them according to his law. This was the fourth demerit. So these are the demerits of Newland's law of octaves. Again, this is a 2-mark question. You may copy it down. So hope you have understood both Dobereiner's law of triads and Newland's law of octaves. You may refer to the textbook, refer to the notes which will be provided to you today. So notes are according to the exercise. So you may refer to the notes, find out the answers for the exercise questions also which you are familiar with. The Dobereiner's triads, Newland's law of octaves, these are the first two topics which I have finished. These are having a weightage of 2 marks, all the questions. Dobereiner's law of triads, it is a 2-mark question, you have to write the example. Newland's law of octaves, it is a 2-mark question, you have to write the example. What were the demerits of Newland's law of octaves? Again a 2-mark question. And page number 16 in the textbook, towards the end of the page there is a question, can you tell, identify Dobereiner's law of triads. This is a very frequently asked question. You may mark this as important in your textbook. Okay, mark this as important. In many schools they have asked this question. So this is the homework for you today. Okay, hope you have understood Dobereiner's law of triads and Newland's law of octaves. Read the textbook minimum of 5 times. Understand what the concept is. If you are having any doubt, write the doubts and you may ask me. Thank you.